Peace, love, blessings, and good vibes. Thank you for joining me again. Welcome back, fam. Glad to have you here, and welcome visitors. Visitors, if you like what you see, please be sure to subscribe. All right, so today's informational topic is a magnetic pole shift. So we're going to be talking about the pole shift. Um, and I did a video earlier on about this, and I talked about, and I had the compass and everything, so you can search through the videos if you're interested in finding that, and if you want to take a look at that, you can. But this is an updated video about the pole shift. All right, so I've got some notes here so that I'll make sure that I can explain this in the most simplest form possible so that you can know what's going on, and also tell you how it's going to affect the animals on the earth and as well as human beings. So, all right, let's get into it. First question: is Earth's magnetic field changing? um and the answer to that question is yes, because the magnetic field is changing polarities over a period of time and over a course of time. So it's also called a polarity reversal. So this should not be confused with the rotation of the Earth's axis, because as we know that Earth rotates on its axis, but that is not the same thing as a pole reversal. Pretty much pole reversal is when north switches with south, south switches with north. So in other words, north becomes south, south becomes north, east becomes west, west becomes east. And North America becomes South America. So that's like a complete flip. So that's what a pole reversal is. So the next question we're going to talk about and we're going to get into is, when was the last pole reversal? Now, there are many different um, speculations about the exact time frame when this happened or when this occurred. So many different Google sites, or many different sites that I checked on Google, um, give give different answers, right? So this particular answer to this question that I found was on geomagnetic reversal on Wikipedia, and they said approximately 312 to 262 million years ago is when the magnetic field reversed polarity. So that's just a guesstimation or an approximate guess. We don't know 100% for sure. But I do have my speculations that is somewhere in Africa, these ancient tribal, or the ancient tribes may know. Like, for example, the Dogon. Like, if you want to know anything, I guess, concerning science, anything concerning Sirius, the brightest star in the sky, I would go to the Dogon, because the Dogon knew about this particular information before the scientists, European scientists, discovered it with their telescope. So the Dogon tribe in Mali, Africa, are very proficient in astrology, astronomy, and most likely the magnetic pole shift. And I don't think that these scientists know that, and they don't give them enough credit, because they're trying to, I don't know, I could be wrong, they're trying to make a name for themselves. They want to be the first to discover this, the first to discover that, but in actuality, the African people were really the first to know this information and to know these things. So I would really love to have someone, you know, with connections in Africa, to contact or connect the Dogon and see um, what they have to say about a pole shift or a pole reversal, because that would be interesting. I looked it up, but I don't think they've mentioned anything about pole reversals, but they definitely mentioned about the star Patolo, the dog star, um, and it's just when you get a chance, look up the Dogon tribe in Mali, Africa, here on YouTube. There's a YouTube channel, a YouTube post in a video about their infinite knowledge of the universe. Very interesting. All right, so let's keep going. So, what is polarity? Polarity is the direction of a magnetic or electric field. So, it's the direction in which the magnetic field is going. What happens if the magnetic field weakens? So, it could collapse and flip polarity, changing magnetic north to south and south to north. All right, so that's that flip that we're talking about. Um, and in a recent article, it was stating that the magnetic pole um, is slowly going towards Russia, slowly moving towards Russia. There was an article written about that, so we're going to get into that in just a few minutes as well. But a pole reversal is a switch in position of the Earth's magnetic north and south poles, and also called a magnetic reversal. Magnetic field is a region around a magnetic material or moving electrical charge within which the force of magnetism acts. So, with the magnetic field, it's a region around the magnetic material or moving electrical charge within which the force of magnetism acts. So it's a magnetic field force within the earth, I guess you could put it that way. And the earth's magnetic field is created by the rotation of the earth and the earth's core. So the earth has an inner core and an outer core. The inner core, I think, is where it's the warmest. And it protects the earth against harmful particles in space. So if the magnetic field were to weaken, then it would cause all types of harmful particles in space you wouldn't be able to protect the earth, let's put it that way, from the harmful particles. And I could be wrong, but this is my thinking, that when we talk about these asteroids and we read about these asteroids that come so very close to Earth, come close to hitting the Earth, but it doesn't. It's because of the Earth's magnetic field. It's strong enough to protect us against that. But I do remember a few years back where an asteroid actually hit Russia. So they say that it was an asteroid. They looked at, and so I guess they had the scientists come out and research and test and look at things. And you can look this up too if you don't remember. A few years back, they say that an asteroid actually hit. And with that, and I could be wrong, but with that asteroid hitting a few years back, it could be a factor into as to why the magnetic pole is shifting towards Russia. So that could have a factor in it, and it could not. I don't know. I'm not that deep into science. I'm not that deep of a scientist. So, all right, that's just a theory. And that's what most scientists do. They go on theory, and then they try to prove their theories. All right, so now, if the Earth magnetic field weakens, right? And with it weakening, it may cause a pole reversal. So patches of iron atoms in Earth's liquid outer core become reversed aligned. And so, like tiny magnets or small magnets oriented in the opposite direction from those around them. So, with the iron atoms, they are a chemical element with the symbol Fe, Fe, and you can find this on the periodic table. Like the periodic table, you can find it. It's number 26 on some periodic tables. I looked it up, and on another periodic table, it was the number 13. But by mass, with these iron atoms, it's the most common element on Earth. All right, so and it forms a lot of Earth's outer and inner core. It is the fourth most common element in Earth's crust. What happens if the magnetic field weakens? And I've already answered this question, so it goes into more depth. It's like when the boiling in one area slows down, because the inner core of the Earth is hot. So when that boiling point slows down, fewer currents of charged particles are released, and the magnetic field over the surface weakens. So the flow of the liquid in the outer core almost pulls the magnetic field around it. And this is according to Floberhagen. So Floberhagen is a scientist who studies about the weakening of the magnetic field and what happens. And you can find this at Earth's magnetic field is weakening 10 times faster now. And that's the title of the article. And you can find this on livescience.com. And so when we talk about Africa, they said that Africa may be the starting point for a pole reversal, because in South Africa they said that um, at the under South Africa, the magnetic field under Southern Africa or in South Africa may start this pole reversal. And according to an article, December 17th, 2019, Earth's magnetic North Pole has officially moved toward Russia. And this is on Forbes.com, so you can check that out. And also there's an article in National Geographic, and it's called Earth's Poles Will Eventually Flip. So what then? So when the Earth's poles flip, remember a few years back, in, I want to say Tampa, Florida. If it's not Tampa airport, then there was an airport in Florida where they had to change their landing strips, or the direction as to where it was going, because it shifted somewhat because of the pole reversal. So that was just the beginning. So we're living in the time of beginning stages of this pole shift. And like I said it before, will it happen during our lifetime? That we can't answer. But I know Florida had to change their landing strip, their landing for the planes land. They had to change because of the directions. They were shifted. They shifted a little. So they had to change. So, and this article goes on to say Earth's poles will eventually flip. So what then? So the article talks about the South Atlantic anomaly, and it's an area where the Earth's inner Van Allen, okay, let me get it right. The Earth's inner Van Allen radiation belt comes closest to the Earth's surface, dipping down to an altitude of 200 kilometers. So this would lead to an increased of energetic particles in the region and exposing orbiting satellites, because the satellites are orbiting around, to higher than normal levels of radiation. So the Van Allen, not Van Halen, but the Van Allen radiation belt is a zone of energetic charged particles, most of which originate from solar wind, that are captured and held around a planet's magnetic field. And so Earth has two such belts, and sometimes others may be temporarily created. So that's what the Van Allen. I always want to say Van Halen, not Van Halen, not the group of Van Allen radiation belt. So that's what that radiation belt is. So I'm sorry, sinuses, right? All right. It forms a lot of Earth's outer and inner core. It is the fourth most common element in Earth's crust. Sorry, guys. This is like annoying in my throat. Okay. I apologize. All right. So basically, in a nutshell, is Earth's magnetic pole shifting? The answer to that is yes. Does this have anything to do with global warming? No. Does this have anything to do with HARP? No, because we know that HARP also controls the weather, and manipulates the weather sometimes because they're doing all of these scientific projects and things of that nature. But excuse me, a pole shift or pole reversal has nothing to do with these things because this is something that just naturally occurs and it just naturally happens. So, and and we are due for another pole shift. Um and right now we are experiencing the pole shifting, and we don't feel the pole shifting because most likely because of gravity and the gravitational pull that we have, where it keeps us grounded on Earth. So it keeps us from floating away. Um, Now, the pole shift, how will it affect humans? It'll affect humans due to um, GPS. Um, that's another thing, and it's going to confuse a lot of people with this GPS, right? So it's going to affect GPS systems. It's going to affect travel, um, and with the animals will probably adjust maybe quicker than the humans will, because it's affecting the animals too. Because at first they may get confused. They don't know whether they're going to be going north. They don't know whether they're going to be going south. So, but over a period of time for them, like I stated, they'll probably adjust quicker than we would. So it'll take us maybe a little longer to understand what's going on and what's happening. There's so many things that are happening right now out in space, and definitely with the pole shift, and people are not listening. They're not paying attention because, you know, it is a difficult. Um, it is a difficult topic to explain, but just in a nutshell, a pole reversal just means north and south flipping with each other. So North America becomes South America. South America becomes North America. So it's just a flip. And so with the poles going towards Russia, that's interesting. Because the United States may be drifting towards Russia. Russia may be drifting off towards someplace else. And then it's like, um, different cities and states within the United States, if we live through this and the poles switch, then we're not exactly sure where the states are going to end up. We're not sure where New York is going to end up, where California is going to end up, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, those such, and so on and so forth. We're not sure. Because they're still studying the pole shift. They're still, learning about it. And as information comes in, I try to read up on it. I try to study it myself as well. So, just to stay in the know of current events and what's happening and what's going on. All right, so that's the information about the pole shift in a nutshell. Just know that polarities is the direction that the poles are going in, and right now they're moving towards Russia. Google that, because there was an article. Was it on Google? It was an article posted But you can Google that information and you can find out more about pole shifts and pole reversals, which is the same thing, for yourselves. And you can check out those articles that I mentioned as well. All right. So now, off of the pole shift, I'm going to do the tarot readings for the fire signs, earth signs, water signs, and air. I'm going to do it by element. So all of the fire signs such as Aries, I think Aries, Leo, and Gemini, those are the fire signs. So I'm going to do them first, and then I'll go to earth, then I go to air, water, so on and so forth. So if you fall in that category, just make sure you look out or be on the lookout for those videos. And then once I get you guys' tarots done, next celebrity is David Banner. I'm gonna do a reading for him, but first, you guys, because I've been saying I'm gonna do your January 2020 reading because I know I didn't even finish up for December, and I do apologize for that, but no worries. It's definitely coming. All right, thank you for listening to me blab about the magnetic pole shift. I know I don't know that much about it, but I wanted to do another updated video on it, so I did. All right, so until next time, peace, love, good vibes, and I'll be back with your readings, and it's going to be done by elements, so your tarot readings. All right, till next time, peace. Thank you so much for watching.